Hello Year 12s and welcome to this video on efficiency and effectiveness. There are three things that you need to do while you're watching this video. The first thing is to take the very best Cornell notes that you can. The second thing is to use the pause and rewind functions. Use the pause function if you need to stop this video to take notes. Use the rewind function if you need to go over any information contained in this video. And the third thing that you need to do is to have your vocabulary sheets open in front of you. Our learning intention for this video is that you should be able to understand the concepts of efficiency and effectiveness. Make sure that you write this learning intention down in your Cornell notes. As you know, there are four types of operations management strategies. These are technology strategies, materials management strategies, quality management strategies, and waste minimization strategies. Later on in this outcome, we'll be looking at each of these types of strategies in more detail. However, a very important thing that you need to be able to do is to explain how each of these operations management strategies can improve the efficiency and the effectiveness of the operations of a business. Efficiency and effectiveness mean different things, even though the same strategy may sometimes be both efficient and effective. It is critical that you understand what both of these concepts mean, so that if a SAC or exam question asks you to describe, explain, discuss, or evaluate an operations management strategy that is efficient, your answer focuses on efficiency and not effectiveness. Similarly, if a SAC or exam question asks you to describe, explain, discuss, or evaluate an operations management strategy that is effective, your answer needs to focus on effectiveness and not efficiency. Sometimes a question might ask you to describe, explain, discuss, or evaluate both the efficiency and the effectiveness of an operations management strategy. In such a case, you must treat efficiency and effectiveness separately and clearly distinguish between them when you are writing your answer. Before we look at efficiency, I want to tell you about a concept that we've already looked at and that is closely related to efficiency. This is the concept of productivity. Productivity is measured as the quantity of output divided by the quantity of inputs. In other words, it measures the quantity of inputs that is needed to produce a particular quantity of output. Productivity increases when the quantity of inputs that is required to produce the same quantity of output decreases. Put another way, productivity increases when the same quantity of inputs produces a higher quantity of output. To give you an example, let's suppose that we want to build a brick wall. Assuming that the workers don't have any machinery, it might take 5 workers using 4 shovels, 4 buckets, and a pile of sand to build the wall. On the other hand, if we had a cement mixer, it may be that 1 worker is able to build the wall in the same or even a shorter amount of time. This is a more productive way to build the wall because less inputs are required to build the same wall where we use a cement mixer. In particular, now we only need 1 worker instead of 5 workers. Now there's a difference between productivity and efficiency. Efficiency is measured as the value of output divided by the cost of inputs. Can you see the difference between productivity and efficiency? Productivity compares the quantity of output with the quantity of inputs required to produce that output. On the other hand, efficiency compares the value of the output, that is, how much the output can be sold for, with the cost of the inputs used to produce that output. There are 2 ways in which efficiency can be increased. First, by increasing the value of the output. For example, by increasing the quality of that output. The second way in which efficiency can be increased is by reducing the cost of the inputs that are used to produce that output. For example, by reducing inventory costs, that is, storage costs, or wastage in the production process. Now, increasing productivity will often increase efficiency. If you use less inputs to produce the same quantity of output, then productivity is increasing. If you use less inputs to produce the same quantity of output, then you are reducing the cost of the inputs used to produce that output, which will increase efficiency. In our wall example, by using the cement mixer, we have increased the productivity of the wall building process because we have reduced the quantity of inputs required to build the wall. In particular, we've reduced the number of workers from 5 to 1. By reducing the required number of workers from 5 to 1, we have also reduced the costs of building the wall. We now only need to pay 1 worker instead of 5 workers. As a result, we have increased the efficiency of the wall building process. Productivity can be improved in a number of ways. For example, by properly maintaining equipment so that it doesn't break down, by properly sequencing processes to speed up the production of output, and by laying out the facilities, for example, the factory floor, so that related tasks are performed in the same area. You might ask what this has to do with reducing the quantity of inputs that is required to produce a particular quantity of output. Well, don't forget that time is an input. All of the things that I've just mentioned save time. Accordingly, they reduce the input of time required to produce a particular quantity of output, and so they increase productivity. And saving time also increases efficiency. This is because if we are saving time, then we are reducing the number of minutes or hours that an employee spends in producing that quantity of output. And so we are reducing the labour costs that relate to the production of that quantity of output. However, an increase in productivity is not necessary for an increase in efficiency. For example, if we improve our quality controls so that the output produced by a production process is of a better quality, then the output will increase in value, but without any change in the quantity of inputs required to produce that output. That is, there has been no change in productivity, but there has been an increase in efficiency. This brings us to the concept of effectiveness. Effectiveness is different from efficiency. Effectiveness refers to the extent to which the business objectives are achieved. Anything that contributes to the achievement of the business objectives will be effective. So, when we are talking about the effectiveness of a production process, we need to analyse how the production process is helping the business achieve its business objectives. Let's take an example. A business objective that many businesses have is to reduce workplace accidents. This is because accidents in the workplace can injure the business's employees, can interrupt production while the accident is being investigated and any problems are being fixed, and the business may also have to hire new employees to take over the jobs of any injured employees. This all costs the business money. If the accident is caused by the business breaching a law, then the business may be fined and might also have to pay compensation to the injured worker. If the business's production is interrupted, it can't produce and sell its output. And if the business has to employ replacement employees, it'll have to pay to train those replacement employees in their new job. It may be that the workplace contains, for example, a dangerous machine which regularly injures employees. However, if the business protects its workers from injury by installing a safety fence around the machine, then this will contribute to the achievement of the business objective of reducing workplace accident levels. The installation of the fence is therefore a strategy which will increase the effectiveness of the business's operations. Even though efficiency and effectiveness are different concepts, the same strategy might increase both the efficiency and the effectiveness of the business's operations. For example, the business might introduce new technology such as an automated production line. This will replace many of the business's employees and so reduce the costs of the business because the amount of wages paid by the business will decrease. By reducing the cost of inputs, that is in this case the cost of labour, this will increase the efficiency of the business's operations because it will now be less costly to produce the output of the business. Like most businesses, the business will have a business objective of increasing profit. Because the use of the new technology reduces the business's costs, this will increase the profit of the business. That is, the introduction of the new technology will contribute to the achievement of the business objective of increasing profit. As a result, the introduction of the new technology will also increase the effectiveness of the business's operations. In short, the introduction of the new technology will increase both the efficiency and the effectiveness of the business's operations. This brings me back to the main point of this video. It is critical that you are able to distinguish between efficiency and effectiveness, even though the same strategy might increase both efficiency and effectiveness. How do we do this? The answer is that when you are talking about the efficiency of an operations management strategy, you must link that strategy back to reducing the cost of inputs and/or increasing the value of the output. But when you are talking about the effectiveness of an operations management strategy, you must link that strategy back to the achievement of a business objective. Finally, why is it important for operations management to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of a business's operations? The answer is because this will maximize the business's competitiveness. That is, the ability of the business to produce goods or services as well as, or better than, its competitors. Now that you've listened to this video, please look down the left-hand side of your vocabulary sheets, find the terms productivity, efficiency, effectiveness, and competitiveness, and write a definition of each of those terms into your vocabulary sheets using the information contained in this video. Well, that brings us to the end of this video. As a result of watching and taking notes on this video, you should now understand the concepts of efficiency and effectiveness. Thank you for your attention.